Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really know you are.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Brittany, and I'm back with another video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that. Y'all, I have another cast ranking, and the thing is, this season in this cast was very hated, controversial, and it honestly started the downfall of BGC. Like, after season 11, BGC, it just went womp womp womp. Like, however, like I said, I secretly like this season, and the reason that I like this season wasn't because of the fact that I liked the cast. It was just because they had drama. No lie. Like, I tuned in to BGC to see the bullshits, and I did, like, you know, when they had their growth, their good moments, but it's like, this was one of the first seasons where I was just like, oh, 100%, everybody too turned up. So it's like, this is honestly kind of difficult for me to do it from, I'm gonna rank the cast from least fave to fave, and it's like, I honestly didn't even like 99.9% of the cast. So, like, yeah, let's get to it. Okay, coming in last, of course, I have to say Tess. And Tess is there by default because she was barely there. She was only there for 20 minutes, actually, but Tess knew something that we didn't know. What I can say is, even though at the time it was like Tess was lame for leaving, like, why would she go through this whole process knowing what it was? It's like, I feel like something like reality TV is something that people watch and be like, oh, I could do reality TV until they actually do it. It's like, yeah, she probably knew it was going to be cameras in her face 24/7 until she actually got there and she was on the phone and it was cameras in her face 24/7. Like she said, it was no doors. There was no privacy. She was being recorded 24/7. So before I was mad, but now I'm not mad at Tess for leaving, because it's like, that environment isn't for anyone. But she did eat her little rap, though. She did eat that.
White girl on the track, murking them lyrics. Whole team wanna hit, but can't cook.
Next, I gotta say Benzy. Benzy was a loser to me. Like, she was my least favorite replacement. Okay, and that was because she just came in and followed suit ASAP. Like, she didn't give anybody a chance. Like, she just came in and saw that the whole house was against Chené, and then she jumped on a bandwagon of not liking Chené. And then after Stephanie fought Chené, she told me, why didn't you come tell me? I wanted to fight her too. Why you didn't fight her? Why you didn't? Ben didn't fight her then. You had chances to fight her then. And then her main thing of getting irritated with her was, oh, she told me to slow down while I was driving. Like, Benzy, don't piss me off. Like, if you wanted to be friends with the other girls because you saw the dynamic, you heard about the dynamic, and you felt like, you know, you didn't want to be in the same situation as Chené, then you could have just said that. For real, because then, even after she became friends with Andrea, she was cool. And then after the Haley thing happened, she felt bad about the whole Haley thing, but she never vocalized it. She just always felt bad for people in her green screen and in her confessional. And it's like, even though the BGC 11 cast was kind of weird, one thing I can say is a lot of the people stood on business of how they felt. Yeah, I was a bully, I was a jumper hole, I was this, and that, but yeah, that's just what I am. Benzy never stood on that. She stood on, oh, Chené told me to slow down. Oh, she soaked the fun out of the whole spider thing, so I don't like her. And then, come to find out, Tiana said in the interview afterwards that she didn't even rock with Benzy like that, but she saw that Jazz and everybody else liked her, so she just let it slide. So it's like, girl, little do you know, you was about to you was kissing ass, but it's like, if Tiana would have made you public enemy number one, then the girls would have followed Tiana's suit, and you would have had no choice but to be in the same situation as Chené. Okay, so it's like, I had no respect for Benzy. She was a loser. She was lame. And the fact that she never gave Chené a chance, it just really irritated me. Because it's just like, Chené, yeah, she had a bad rep with the other girls, but that had nothing to do with you personally. You just should have came in, said, hey, what's up to everyone, and just leave it as that. But you took the first chance you got and you followed suit with everybody else. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Next, I gotta say Stephanie. I'm sorry. It's like, I really wanted to like Stephanie. In the first 2 episodes, she was cool because she didn't follow too much behind the whole Sarah thing. Like, I remember when they had the house meeting and she told Sarah, I don't know if it was an unseen clip or something, but she had told Sarah, like, yeah, I feel like you talk a lot, but I don't necessarily know you that much to not like you like the other girls. Like, Stephanie never, quote unquote, jumped Sarah with the other girls, but it seemed like after Sarah left and towards the end of the Sarah era, Stephanie just kind of had to realize that she had to follow suit or she'll be like Sarah, because there was even an unseen clip of everybody not trying to bring Sarah's gifts in and whatnot because she had got flowers or something, and Stephanie brought Sarah's flowers to her because she felt like it was messed up that everybody kept leaving her gifts outside. And even when Mimi and Teresa checked her for it, she just kind of stood on what she felt like. She just felt like the whole Sarah thing was getting too out of control. However, like I said, after Sarah left, Stephanie saw that that Mimi was running the house, and that, you know, even though Mimi had left, like, Mimi got rid of Sarah and all the other girls followed behind Mimi, so they were kind of like a little click, and Stephanie had to realize, shoot, I can't be playing the middleman, because when these new girls come in, they automatically probably not gonna like these new girls, and I honestly probably want to stay with the OGs rather than forced to be friends with the new girls just in case some shit popped off. And that's exactly what she did, because Stephanie had no reason to dislike Janelle. Stephanie had no reason to dislike Andrea or Chené, but she did it just because her friends were doing it. And since Stephanie was the one that got the least camera time between them, she had no choice but to start some shit with Chené, because that was her little moment.
Oh, you taking your socks off. I see that as you want to fight.
And then she didn't even win. She didn't even win. Like, Stephanie, like I said, I have more respect for people that stand in their truth rather than just hide behind other people. Cause me, I talk a lot of shit, but at least I can talk shit to somebody's face and let them know, like, I know you can whoop my ass, so don't beat me up, and I'm just telling you when I don't like you. Just don't beat me up, just don't beat me up. Whereas Stephanie, she wanted to be like Benzy, just, you know, just kind of ride along. But the thing is, it seemed like Gigi and Steph, they had a little close relationship, so it's not like she was pretending to be their friend. She was actually cool with them. She just followed suit like them. Cause I remember when she used to say, a bitch in Connecticut would have popped off on you. Girl, shut up. You had no reason to be suited and booted to try to throw stuff on Andrea and Janelle and whatnot. Like, you had no reason to be doing that. And then if Chené's friends would have checked you for jumping her, were your friends going to be behind you? It's like the only reason why Gigi jumped in for the whole Chené thing is because she was just a jumper hoe. You know, like, nobody was really fighting with you because they had your back. They were just fighting with you because that's just what, you know, they did. It's like, I don't even really think they rocked with Stephanie like that. She was just their friend, just the fourth wing to me. So it's like, I don't got no respect for either. I ain't like her. Next is Chené. Chené was honestly the cringiest person to me this season. It just so gave, hey guys, look at me, woohoo, like trying too hard. It was just like, okay girl, we see it. Like, it's so cringe to me watching her do confessionals with the other girls and they just literally like side-eyeing her like,
You better watch your ass, girl. You better watch out. We're coming for you. We're coming.
and it's like, I get it, she thought the whole jumping, the whole sneaking Gigi thing was lame, but it's just like her crashing out like that because Janelle snuck Gigi when Gigi came into her room and tried to pop off on her first was lame too.
Don't let somebody while he's walking away.
And then it's like, girl, when you know, started warming up to them and being yourself, girl, they done dropped you because they thought you was corny as hell, especially when you was on the phone talking crap.
Turned up is real.
And then if Chené didn't like Janelle because she thought Janelle was too bougie, if she thought Janelle was doing too much, if that's not her type of person, okay, then cool. Everybody's not meant to be with the bougie girl, flip her hair every second. Like, everybody can't be around that. Everybody can't be around us people that think we the shit. Okay? But I feel like she never gave her a chance. She saw that everybody else didn't like her, so she went to Tiana and Jazz. Oh yeah, she said she don't like the share. She said she don't like people drinking her juice. And it's like, they turned around and did the same thing to you. And I'm not saying she should have just been friends with Janelle, but she didn't have to turn on her as hard as she did, if y'all get what I mean. Because I just feel like Chené, and then when Chené started to become upset when they were cool with Andrea, was also lame. Because it's just like, Andrea didn't do anything to y'all. You just wanted them to not F with Andrea because Andrea F with Janelle. And the fact that Chené thought she had any type of authority to the point where just because she didn't want to be friends with Andrea, that everybody else wasn't going to be friends with Andrea was crazy. Because it's like, okay, just because you don't like Andrea, what that got to do with everybody else? You should have picked your own friends like they're doing. Because I thought Andrea was funny. So I wasn't shocked that everybody, you know, was warming up to Andrea. Because shoot, Andrea, she was crashing out. She was funny. But there was even a certain point where it's like when she was getting down in the dumps, when, you know, they were becoming friends with Andrea, and when she was getting down in the dumps when they weren't picking with Janelle as much anymore, where she just wanted to isolate herself, walk away. There were certain times where people did want to be like, hey girl, you know, what's wrong? And she was just like, nothing, just leave me alone. And it's like, if that's how you handle conflict, if you don't want to talk about your feelings, cool. But I feel like at first they showed care for Chené until they didn't. It was just like, okay girl, like you just want everybody to know you upset, you walking around crying, you smoking cigarettes and you doing all that. It's like they didn't F with you enough to care about your emotions. They just F with you enough to just be okay with you following behind them. Like they called you out on fake laughing, and then she was doing the weird crush thing on Tiana, kissing her, watching her in the shower and stuff. Like, no lie, Chené, she had a lot of weird moments. And then y'all know, like, unpopular opinion, people used to always be like, oh, she ate with the dance, but looking back at it, that dance did not eat. No shade. What I can say though is that she did not deserve to get jumped. That fight should have been between, you know, Stephanie and Chené, and it should have been like that. And she did not deserve to get snuck by Benzy either. If Benzy was upset about anything with Chené, then she should have brought it to her. I feel like anyone that wanted their ones with Chené, they could have got that from her. Like, she didn't deserve to get jumped just because she was upset, and she didn't deserve to get jumped just because, you know, whatever she had going on. Was she lame? Yeah. Was she a follower? Yeah. But it's like, that wasn't a reason to jump the girl. Y'all could have called her out one-on-one for that. But what I can't agree with though is that I feel like when her feelings were hurt by Tiana, like, she really felt like Tiana was her friend. But Tiana just had a stronger friendship with Jazz and Gigi. So Chené was never going to come over Jazz and Gigi. So the fact that she just followed behind and wanted to be cool with Tiana so much, and she thought her and Tiana was besties, it's just like, I hate it had to happen to her. But at the same time, I didn't really feel bad for her because I feel like she brought it on herself. Because it's like, I'm not saying if she was friends with Janelle, this wouldn't have happened. Because it still seemed like she wanted to be friends with the other girls. But yeah, she shouldn't have just followed and derided them as hard as she did. Like, she did it quick. She was like Benzy. She did it quick. She saw the little dynamic. She saw that people weren't really rocking with Janelle, and she said, oh yeah, can't be me. And then when it was her, she couldn't handle it. So it's like I said, I felt bad for her, but to a certain extent, because you were laughing when they were doing this stuff to Janelle, and now that it's being done to you, it's like, it was hard for me. Like I said, she ain't deserve to get jumped, but it was hard for me to be like, damn, she ain't deserve that. Because it's like, girl, no shade. You did kind of just bring that on yourself. Like, I ain't gonna feel that bad for you. Next, I gotta say Gigi. Have to. You know, honestly, Gigi was kind of cool at first. In unpopular opinion, I feel like Sarah so dragged the issue with Gigi. Like, I remember seeing an interview with Jazz, and she said, yeah, when Gigi first came in, she kept repeating certain stuff. She kept asking people the same question, but it was clear that Gigi was drunk. So her saying, you know, replacements are stronger, I really don't see how that struck a nerve as hard as it did via Sarah. Like, Jazz said she felt hurt about it at first and she just let it go, because it's like, okay, clearly this girl is drunk. But I feel like Gigi, she was cool at first. You know, she even apologized for the comment.
I could have said it, maybe it came out wrong. If I offended anybody, I do apologize for that, because that was not my intent, and I don't think that I'm stronger than anybody. Nobody thinks that I'm better than nobody. I promise you to my niece. Like,
but Gigi's downfall was her constantly jumping into stuff that had nothing to do with her. I feel like when it was just her and Sarah, I was okay with that, because it's like, Sarah's effing with you, you're effing with Sarah. Yeah, that's cool. That can be y'all's little thing. But when it turned to the point where it was just like, oh, Tiana has an issue with this person. Okay, let me jump on Janelle too. Oh, Stephanie has an issue with Chené. Okay, let me jump on Chené too. Oh, Jazz has an issue with Haley. Okay, let me jump Haley too. It was just kind of like, damn, girl, you didn't even go this hard for Sarah, because when Gigi and Sarah were about to, you know, fight again, and Jazz was like, tag me in, girl, if you was that hard, if you had that much of an issue with Sarah, you would be like, no, don't jump in, I got this. Because this girl has been effing with me and picking with me for X, Y, and Z, so I don't need nobody to fight my issues for me, I got this. But she didn't do that. She decided to wait until she always had somebody around her. Anytime she wanted to fight somebody, she wanted to announce this. Let me see if this bitch wants some. Jumping in front of Janelle when she was in her section. And it was just like, it was kind of hard to kind of, you know, see Gigi as a person. Like, the only time I saw Gigi as a person is when, she talked to Andrea later on in the season and asked Andrea, was she okay? Like, and that was the only time she actually used the moment to be like, let me not be a following asshole. Okay? Because honestly, I feel like the only person that Gigi really could have had an issue with was Sarah. Yeah, each of them individually had their own little thing with Janelle, but I feel like Chené never did anything to Gigi. Haley never did anything to Gigi. I like the fact that, you know, Andrea, she took the time to talk to Andrea, but it's like, Gigi lost me when she kept jumping into everything. Like, I just found it so unnecessary. And then, instead of fighting Sarah face to face at the reunion, she wanted to do it on top of the couch. And it's like, I didn't F with that either. Because it's like, you had so much energy for everybody besides the person you needed it with. And it's like, Mimi's the person that instigated her fight, and she never peeped that. And even if she did peep it, she never checked Mimi about it. She always had smoke for Sarah. So it's just like, I didn't get her. I couldn't rock with her. Like, no lie. Next, Mimi. Was Mimi entertaining? Yeah. But was she likable? No. Like, I feel like Gigi, Chené, Steph, Benzy, they weren't entertaining nor likable. Mimi, she wasn't likable, but she was low-key entertaining.
I'm going to be like, you got a problem? Huh? What happened?
Mimi's the one that, you know, honestly instigated the first few episodes. And honestly, she even admitted it.
I'm not thinking anyone's gonna notice that I'm just instigating, but Sarah brings it up, so I definitely feel like I have to be more careful.
It was even at a certain point where Tiana even like low-key checked her for being a mean girl.
Do you think you're a mean girl? Just a little bit? A little bit. Like 1 to 10. 5, 6, maybe an 8.
And it's like, yeah, Mimi was a mean girl, but one thing I did not like about Mimi, but she was one of those mean girls that didn't want to be called out on it, didn't want it to be checked for, and didn't want to fight about it. Cause yeah, Mimi instigated everything, but instead of them fighting each other, they should have been fighting Mimi. Sarah should have fought Mimi earlier. Jazz should have fought Mimi. Freaking Gigi should have fought Mimi. Teresa should have fought Mimi, but... And yeah, I say Teresa because Mimi instigated everything. If it wasn't for Mimi being in the house, then it's like, it just would have been like, okay, like, nothing would have happened until later on. But it's like, everybody wanted to put their attention at the focal of Sarah. And the thing is, maybe it's because Mimi was talking about she was S-ing Kim Kardashian, Rob Kardashian's Ping Ping and Justin Bieber, where they thought like, oh, let's listen to her. But no Mimi wasn't. She was cute. But it's like, it really wasn't given to me. But maybe I'm a hater. Oh yeah, when it comes to Mimi, like I said, I say entertaining, but not necessarily likable. She got the drama popping, but she never wanted to stand on her own stuff. And the only reason why her and Sarah fought is because Sarah came to her and asked her, and you know, kind of pressed her. And then I feel like one of the only other reasons why she fought Sarah is because of her little conversation with Natalie. And Natalie told her, like, look, you can't be sitting here starting stuff in the house and not doing anything. Either you fight Sarah head up, or you know, just not play the little bully role. It's like, I feel like if Mimi stayed in the house would have been different. Instead of it being, you know, Tiana and the girls, it really would have been Mimi and the girls. Because Tiana, she was on that when Mimi was in there, but Tiana kind of played, you know, like I said, she was the one going to Mimi, oh, are you a mean girl? Are you this? Are you that? Like, she was still turned up. But Mimi was the mouth of it all. So it's just like, if Mimi would have stayed, it really would have been, you know, Mimi and the girls versus whoever. Like, because I can still see Mimi saying, like, oh yeah, let's mess with Janelle. Oh yeah, let's mess with Chené. Oh yeah, let's do that. Like, Mimi was a mean girl, period. Like, she wasn't just gonna, you know, have the whole house kumbaya or anything. Like, she wanted it to be drama. And then I feel like her situation with Sarah was weird, because didn't they, you know, have sex in the shower and whatnot, and then afterwards they like fought. So I was like, I don't know, Mimi, like I said, entertaining but not likable at all. Next, I gotta say Jazz. I wanted to like Jazz, you know, she was cute, and, you know, I liked her little look, but it's like, she was, you know, the thing with Jazz is that she really thought she was intimidating, and she literally scared no one. Like, literally no one that she was against literally took her serious. Unpopular opinion though. Like I said, unpopular opinion, because I know we all love this person, but it's like, I understand why Jazz had a little issue with Janelle at first. Because if you're hitting me with something and I let you know, like, hey, you're hitting me with something, you know, kind of watch that, and you're basically telling me, like, girl, if you're 30 inches in the way of my hair, then my 30 inches of hair is going to touch you. When it's just like, I feel like, granted, what's the situation that deep? But I would have got annoyed with her too. Like, who the hell does this girl think she is, where she's telling me to stay 30 inches away from her synthetic ass hair? Like, excuse me? I just feel like Janelle and Jazz, they were just those people where they couldn't get along. Like, they always felt, well, Jazz always felt like Janelle was kind of like, that Janelle felt like she was over them. And I feel like Janelle, she did act like that. But Jazz, maybe she didn't know who she was, because she wanted to be bougie too, but at the same time, she wanted to be a thug. It's just like, first of all, her little crash outs they were so unserious.
Send my ass home. That bitch. No, don't let her tell that bitch to square up.
Like, if somebody wanted to fight me and they were crashing out the way Jazz was crashing out, like, it would not scare me. And then her whole thing with Andrea, her wanting to fight Andrea after they low-key started with Andrea first, all because Andrea wanted to be cool with Janelle, was weird. And it's like, yeah, did Andrea put the hot sauce in the juice? Yeah, but you want to fight me? Meet me out here.
What's your point in putting hot sauce in the juice? Just wanted to. Okay, well, I want to fight you, so when you finish, meet me out here.
It's just like, if you wanted to fight her, because then we would have been like, oh my gosh, she did that. But it's like, I feel like if she wanted to fight Andrea, she would have fought Andrea. Because everybody she wanted to quote unquote fight, she never really fought them. Like, she had issues with Janelle, but she never fought Janelle. You know, like, Janelle had to hit her first when she left the house. Like, she never fought Janelle. She only fought Haley because Haley was drunk and she had her little entourage behind her. It's like she jumped into the fight with Chené, like, kind of at the end. It's like Jazz wasn't really about it to me. And then at first she had issues with Mimi, but she never told Mimi about her issues with her. And then when she did tell Mimi that she thought she was a attention whore, she was all kiki haha smiling in her face still.
I feel like Mimi's an attention whore. She wants all the spotlight on her. She does too much to me. So I just had to let her know.
When it came down to Jazz, I was kind of confused because it's just like, girl, do you want to run the house? Do you not want to run the house? Are you a thug? Are you bougie? Because when another bougie girl came, like, you had an issue with that. But then it's like when other girls come in and they kind of, you know, still turned up, you're just like, ugh, that's too much. So it's just like, Jazz, I was kind of confused about her. And then on top of that, she only ever popped off when she had the people around her. It's like, and then I remember when she was trying to intimidate Haley, oh girl, fix your eyelashes, or whatever she was trying to say to her, and Haley was just looking at her like, okay girl, like, Jazz, it was like she was somebody where she just talked a lot of shit, but she wasn't about it. Like, it just didn't give. Next I'm gonna say Teresa, but it's like, Teresa was one of those people where it's like, I didn't hate, but I really didn't like. It's like, she was... I feel like her time in the house was kind of short-lived, and even when her time was in the house, it's like she had the issue with her boyfriend. She almost fought Stephanie, but didn't when she was drunk. And then it's like, I remember she had her whole little argument with Sarah, and then it's just like, that was really it. Like, I really don't got much to say about Teresa. She was just one of those people in the house where it was just like, maybe she got kicked out because she really didn't have anything else going on. Because I feel like if that could have happened to Stephanie too. Like, one thing I can say about BGC is that, yeah, certain people do certain things, but they already know what storyline they want to use and who they do and do not want to stay. Sarah just so happened to become a liability because it was just literally always her against everyone. But it's like, if they really wanted to, they could have gotten rid of like a Jazz or Tiana, but that literally would have been their whole show. No lie, who else was gonna do something in the house? Stephanie, Gigi, like, absolutely not. So it's like, Teresa, she wasn't really doing anything. So it's like, yeah, she jumped in the fight and she almost hit Janelle with her heel, but it was just like, I honestly feel like that was just their chance to get her out. Like, girl, you ain't doing shit anyways. Like, let me blame somebody for this little fight. Next, I'll have to say Tiana. And yeah, Tiana's in my top 5, but I feel like Tiana was the most likable out of the Wolfpack. Like I said, at first, you know, she's the one that, you know, checked Mimi and said, oh, are you a mean girl? Whereas Jazz told her she thought she was a mean girl and she was still in her face. You know, it seemed like Tiana was low-key just trying to, you know, like, fill her out. But the difference between what Jazz did and what Tiana did, Jazz had an issue with it, was trying to check her and had an issue with it. It was still in her face. Whereas Tiana just seemed like she was more curious about it. It was just like, you know, let me see if I need to watch her or not. I also feel like there were certain times where Tiana kind of made me laugh. It gave me a little chuckle, a kiki.
Google, you can research anything. I don't want to go to everybody. Google me, baby. You can ask all them. I don't want to Google you.
I just feel like Tiana had a lot of bad moments, but she also stood on business about her bad moments. Like, I remember when the whole Andrea thing happened and Andrea thought they were talking about her, she said no, and then afterwards, instead of her coming to Andrea, trying to jump Andrea, trying to fight Andrea, she just told her, you got your own issues, I'm not about to rock with you, and woo woo woo. I remember at a certain time, she told Janelle, like, yeah, I don't got an issue with you, but I'm only trying to kick you out because I made that promise to my homegirl that I'm gonna kick you out. You know, is it stupid? Yeah, but did I count it as real? Yeah, because even though the excuse or the explanation didn't make sense to me or to Janelle, that was her reason. You cool, you know, you got cute moments. I like you, you know, you whip your hair back and forth. But, you know, since Teresa left and I told Teresa I was going to get you out, I low-key got to get you out. And that's on that. Because I remember even after the whole hair whip thing, she told Janelle, like, you know, let me brush that off. Like, I feel like Tiana, her as the leader of the pack, like, she was honestly low-key kind of logical. She was kind of a crash out. Yeah, but I feel like the thing about Tiana, rather than everybody else, is that she low-key kind of stood in her truth. Even in her outro, she was just like, call me a bully, call me a jumper hoe, but at the end of the day, I did that, and that's what I do, and that's what I did. And I was just like, I low-key gotta respect it, because there were a lot of people in this house, like I said, Jazz, fake crashing out, not gonna do anything. Steph just wanted to follow the crowd. Freaking Gigi, she was just jumping into everything. Whereas Tiana, I just feel like she stood in it. You know, she's the one that said, like, yeah, you know what, I did jump Haley, and it was pretty fucked up, and I don't want to pay the fine for it because I'm broke, so I'm about to leave. I don't know what y'all about to do, but I'm about to leave. At first, when everybody was about to go against Chené, she pulled Chené over to the side herself and was just like, look, this is what I feel like is going on. I'm not really rocking with the way you moving right now, so I'm about to remove myself. I know, even though it feel like you got a little crush on me or whatever, girl, we can kiss, but I ain't trying to smash you. And y'all, no lie, like I said, it may seem weird, but I just low-key respect people that stand in their truth. Like, the only other person that I feel like from the Wolfpack, well, she wasn't a part of the Wolfpack, was honestly Mimi, but I just feel like Tiana was more likable than Mimi, because Mimi was just stuck in this whole, oh, I had sex with Justin Bieber thing, whereas Tiana, she came in and was just like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm from Harlem, I'm from the hood, I don't have boots, I don't have this, I'm just here on this show, and I'm about to act the same way I do outside, act the same way here, and if y'all don't like it, then it's just like, y'all just don't like it. Did I necessarily like it? No. But I respected her for being real, so I was just like, okay, like, I guess. Next, I guess I'll put Haley as my number 4, because it's like, even though Haley had a bad week, you know, she could have left. They tried to kick her out. They, like, within that whole week, yeah, they kicked her out. She got kicked out of the DJ booth. They claimed that, you know, she was stepping on people's section. Like, she just said with her week, I'm about to get drunk, and, you know, I got jumped, and that's what happened. Deuces. I will say, she did some weird stuff at the reunion, trying to, you know, talk to Sarah and whatnot. It was just like, I feel like Haley, what she went through in the house was very messed up. She decided to forgive them for that, and that was her only storyline. It's like, she could have just sat there, hey guys, I forgive you, and just been that right there. Just could have watched the show. But other, like, she tried to sit here and say, yeah, I had an issue with Janelle. Sarah, shut up. It's just like, girl, don't let me turn around and get some more people to whoop your ass. Next, my number 3, I gotta say Andrea. Andrea was the funniest person. I swear.
Becky. Here's a Becky.
Andrea popped it off with a prank. I'm about to put dirt in these girls' makeup.
Their powder and stuff. It'd be hilarious. It'll cause their skin to break out. They deserve it.
Even the way she was dancing and moving, like, she was just authentically her. Even when Jazz tried to fight her, she was so unbothered. Andrea is just one of those girls where it's just like, I really came in this house to have fun and party, but it's like, y'all wanted to be on some other stuff, so I had to dip. And it's like, one thing I can say, I felt so bad for her. Like, she saw the dynamic of the house firsthand, and she knew, like, okay, if I had this little back and forth with Tiana, I'm about to get jumped. Granted, Tiana said, you know, they weren't really gonna do anything to her. Like I said, Tiana, that was just that disagreement with them. Tiana said she was gonna leave her alone, but the fact that she saw, like, okay, if one of these girls have an issue with them, I'm about to get jumped, and she had a panic attack about that, like, I felt so bad for her. And what made me feel worse is that anytime she called and talked to her dad about what was going on in the house, he was always so dry, like, yep, girl. That's what had happened. And I was just like, where is her real support system? You can just tell that Andrea was just a broken girl. She wanted friends. And I honestly wasn't even mad at her when at first she talked to Janelle and she was like, I want to know the other girls. Because it's just like, yeah, like, I came in here, I wanted to meet people, I wanted to party. But instead, I'm sitting here, I put myself in this bullshit. So even though it did look like a weak move, and I don't feel like she needed to apologize to them, but I was happy that, you know, she was kind of mingling with everyone, because it's like, if she was just Team Janelle the whole time, then yeah, it really just would have kept being that. And it's just like, you know, it seemed like the other girls enjoyed her, because who don't love a drunk white party girl? It's like, they the best. And I also like the fact that it seemed like Andrea, she low-key stood on principle. I like the fact that she didn't let Chené get jumped.
These girls jumped Chené, and I want to leave it alone, but at the same time, it's just my obligation as a human being. Like, I have a heart. I'm gonna help this girl out no matter if I hate her.
Even though, you know, Janelle and Tiana had their little thing, she was putting her hand out so Janelle won't get jumped. Did she necessarily jump until the fight? No, but she didn't let Janelle get jumped. You know, she told Janelle, like, damn, it's best they about to whoop your ass. Like, girl, go handle that. But she didn't let her get jumped. So it's like, y'all chill on her. Number 2, y'all, I gotta say Janelle. And it's like, I like Janelle. I feel like Janelle was funny.
Sorry, I'm not bald-headed, Jazz. Get you some edges, you bald-headed, ugly-ass bitch. Wanna be America's Next Top Model, bitch.
She had some iconic lines.
Hate on it!
And I feel like Janelle, she low-key, always stood 10 toes. However, and y'all can say this is reaching, unpopular opinion and whatnot, but I feel like maybe because Janelle was like, it was always her versus the house, so she had to be careful because she knew if she said one thing to one of them, then she was gonna say something to all of them. But it's like her energy in confessionals, green screens, never really matched her energy in the house. It was always, oh, a bitch can get slapped and a bitch this, a bitch that, a bitch this, a bitch that. But it's like anytime she low-key got checked by them, she never really stood 10 toes on that same energy. Like, when Tiana told her, like, oh, okay, like, I only want you out because, you know, I made this promise to Teresa. She was talking in her confessional about it, but in, you know, person, it was just like, what? Why do you want me out? All because Teresa, like I said, maybe because she just didn't want to get jumped, but that was my thing with Janelle. Then, like I said, unpopular opinion, her, you know, hitting everybody with her hair and making it seem like it was their fault that they were, you know, getting hit with her hair, when it's like, girl, you know, your hair's just long, you know, kind of be mindful of it, like especially if it's synthetic.
I want to get hit with your hair all the time. It's 30 inches. I know, so be careful. I mean, if you're 30 inches in the way, then it'll happen.
Synthetic hair hurts. So it's like, Janelle, she was entertaining. She always stood 10 toes, but it's like, sometimes the energy wasn't really matching for me. I liked her better than I liked Andrea. I feel like I liked her better than Andrea and Haley, because I feel like she was kind of more entertaining and more funny than them. But I just sometimes didn't like the fact that the energy just wasn't there. Like, I kind of want to see her to, you know, kind of pop off. Like, I feel like her first fight shouldn't have been with the, I like that she defended herself with the whole Gigi thing, but I really do feel like her first fight should have been when Tiana poured that water on her. No shade. Because even when she used to say her slick remarks, it's like she used to say them, but she kind of used to go like, back on them when she kind of got checked by them. And it's just like, I like Janelle. And I like the fact that, you know, even though the way she left the house was lame, I'm happy that when things first started happening, that she just didn't leave because they didn't like her. Like, I respected the fact that she actually stood there and did her own thing, even when they didn't like her. Like, and it was certain times where I felt bad for her, because I felt like nobody really didn't have a reason to like her. Granted, after the whole broke hoes comment and her saying, you know, Tiana can't speak English and whatnot, like I said, I just felt like it wasn't enough for the whole house to be against her. Like, there were certain times where I'm just like, okay, I see the irritation, but it's just like, it just wasn't enough to give like, okay, let's let the Janelle versus the house. And then I wish she would have got her lick back from Gigi. Like, even though, you know, she did hit Gigi first, I wish they would have ran that back. But the reason why they couldn't run it back, like I said, I feel like Janelle was probably just scared of getting jumped, and that's why she never popped off. But like I said, I wish she would have popped off. And that's why my number one person from this season was Sarah. Granted, I feel like Sarah had very annoying moments. She talked a lot, and she just never watched what came out her mouth. But like I said, Sarah stood 10 toes. Yeah, I talk a lot, I am annoying, I'm blunt, I'm blonde, I'm this, but this is how I am. Either y'all gonna like me for it or y'all gonna hate me for it. But the thing is, even when they did not like Sarah for it, she still said what she said to them. She didn't say one thing in her interview and did another thing to them. Like, no, whatever she did in confessional, she brought it to them. When she wanted to fight Mimi, she brought it to her. I want to fight you. When they quote-unquote jumped her, hey, who jumped me? Who was pulling my hair? I want to fight. I want to fight everybody that pulled my hair. And they did that. Sarah didn't care. Like, the difference between Sarah and Janelle, that Sarah, she ain't got an issue getting active. And that's what I liked. I wish Janelle was getting active. Sarah ain't have an issue with getting active. And that's because Sarah is from my hood, from my city, Clay Cove, Riverdale, Georgia. We don't plays around. We don't get, I just kidding, because if it was me, I would have got my ass beat. But beside that, no, I just feel like Sarah, she did a better job holding her ground throughout the whole time there. And it's not like Sarah left because she wanted to leave. She wanted to stay because the girls didn't like her. Because the thing is, the difference between Sarah and Janelle, they weren't really intimidated by Janelle. They didn't really care. I'm not saying they were scared of Sarah, but it's like they kind of like, we already know she kind of gonna pop off, so let's kind of, like, you saw they were cheering when she left. They didn't say it to her face. Before she left, they're just like, okay, bye, girl, but afterwards, they was cheering like they knew better. So yeah, y'all, BGC 11, I really feel like the cast, it was a lot of drama, but the girls were a lot. Like, it was entertainment, but not necessarily likable, but it was enough for me to tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. and watch it. Okay, so ranking my BGC 11 cast from least fave to fave: Tess by default, then Benzy, Steph, Chené, Gigi, Mimi, Jazz, Teresa, Tiana, Haley, Andrea, Janelle, then Sarah. Like I said, I know BGC 11 is hated. But like I said, I low-key enjoyed it. And I know a lot of these girls are hated. And rightfully so, because they all weren't likable. But y'all, please let me know how y'all feel about this cast and y'all rank them. Because I'm really curious to see, if we having similar thoughts and if we agreeing on a few unpopular opinions. So y'all, please don't be shy when it comes to this most hated season, because y'all want people to think that y'all are this or that. Like, I don't care. Like I said, I'm up here saying I like the season. Okay? I feel like Mimi had shit popping. Like I said, I feel like they low-key had certain reasons to like Janelle, but not enough to hate her. I feel like Chené didn't deserve to get jumped, but she low-key had it coming. Like, no shade. I feel like Tiana was the most likable out of the group chat because she was the most authentic in her truth. I really wish that that the girls would have fought Mimi. I feel like Jazz was talking a lot of crap about Mimi but didn't fight her. I feel like Janelle didn't keep the same energy in her confessionals than she did in person. I feel like her fight with Tiana pouring the water on her should have been her first fight. Real bad. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about the cast. Y'all rank them, and y'all let me know y'all unpopular opinions about BGC 11. And then y'all drop more BGC topics down below. And then until the meantime, just make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, all that.